Hey guys! Oh my gosh, I've been waiting to do this for so long and it's finally here, so here I am. You can read from the title. It's my big announcement. I was gonna film it with Jasper, but our schedules are complete opposite right now. You should watch my life update video if you haven't. I'm working full-time now and I work nights and he works days, so we like see each other in the morning and then at night before bed and that's it. So to film it with him would have been a challenge. I hope the audio is gonna be okay. I got Paw Patrol in the other room, a fan in the background because it's like summer weather here right now. It's amazing, and Odin's singing. I don't know if you can hear it or not. I think he's gonna come say hi. Hi! Do you want to say hi to the YouTube? Paw Patrol, okay. Okay, see you later. So yeah, I'm 16 weeks pregnant today, so this is so confusing, and hopefully some of my other moms might clarify. Like, I have two different apps on my phone, and one app, as soon as it's like 16 weeks, 0 days, it'll be like you're 16 weeks, and the other app, when you're 16 weeks 1 day, it's like now you're 16 weeks. I don't know. Anyways, today I'm 16 weeks 1 day, so I'm starting my 16th week. So yeah, it's a big part of why my vlogging kind of changed, because I just couldn't deal with just not feeling authentic, and I don't know, just felt like I was like hiding something, and literally like my whole first trimester every day was pretty much the same of me just feeling like complete crap. So there wasn't a lot to vlog about, and you guys eventually would have been like, what is with you? Like, why are you like so out of it and sick all the time? And my energy to like put the effort into filming and editing and stuff just diminished. So yeah, that's kind of what happened there. Anyways, my first trimester went really smoothly. Basically the only symptom that really bothered me was like extreme, and I mean extreme exhaustion. Like, I was not that tired with my first pregnancy. With Odin, I got really bad nausea and had to take the diclofenac just to be able to function every day, and I actually had to go off medical leave from work. So that was the worst, that pregnancy. This pregnancy, my nausea, I got nauseous, but it was nothing that Ginger didn't help with, and it was only, I felt like, because of the exhaustion. Like, it was almost as if I was so tired that my body just felt physically ill. So that was pretty much the worst symptom. Other than that, it was pretty smooth sailing. Both pregnancies, I was really fortunate not to have any spotting or anything like that. All my checkups went really well. I had an ultrasound at 10 weeks, and I measured exactly on point from when my last menstrual period started, so my due date wasn't changed. Everything just kind of went along smoothly, which for me was a surprise, because with Odin, they ended up changing my due date by like 10 days because my ultrasound dated me like way smaller than my cycle had, and it was because my cycle was like really long back then, but for some reason this time my cycle's been like really bang on with 28 days, and I guess I conceived pretty much right as it would have predicted. So yeah, my due date is in October, and I don't know what else could I say about the first trimester. Not too much about the pregnancy, but a lot of changes happened. You should watch that life update. Basically, I decided to go back to work. I had been working part-time from home, and I was working for a family, and it wasn't working. It was becoming really toxic, and it just really needed to end. So I decided to go back to work, which ends up working out well, because the situation was before, if you're from Canada, you pay into employment insurance, and then you go on maternity leave using that insurance for the year after you have your baby. And I wasn't paying into employment insurance when I was working from home. I was basically self-employed. So I would have had to have worked the whole first year. Like, I would have had to just keep working, and wouldn't have gotten any break to be with the baby. The job was fairly easy, but still, that was one factor. So now I'm working and I am paying into employment insurance so that I will get a paid year off with the baby. And on top of that, Odin started daycare because I'm working, so that's been a big transition. He's been like transitioning just with a babysitter while I've been working, and in May he starts his actual daycare preschool like routine every week, so I have to go buy him a school box. Anyways, that's a whole other video. But yeah, so basically just a lot of emotional and like environmental, I guess, changes and stressors were happening during the first trimester, but I'd like to think I coped with them fairly well. If you guys have seen my video on depression and anxiety, you know that I was on medication, and I actually transitioned off of my medication once like really early in the first like month of my pregnancy. So not necessarily because I was pregnant, because the medication I was on is totally safe to take. It's just because that was supposed to be a temporary thing anyways. It wasn't something that I talked to my doctor about doing for forever, so I wanted to come off of it to see how I am and how I'm coping on my own without needing that tool, right? And so far things have been good, but obviously I'm monitoring it like really closely, and definitely I will be for postpartum. And yeah, I didn't make any purchases yet. Like the only thing I bought one thing. Let me show it to you. Literally, I just bought one thing for the baby so far, and it's this bumblebee suit. It has like a little hat, and it's got little antennae things. I wish it had a stinger on the butt. It doesn't, but I got it in 3 months just because I was gonna get it in newborn, but I do need more newborn clothes. Like I kept literally every single thing from Odin, so I'm pretty much stocked whether it's a boy or a girl, and I am gonna find out. I'll talk about that later. But with Odin, he was so big, and he literally wore newborn clothes for maybe a week or two, and we didn't have a lot of them, and then that was it. So I do need to pick up a few things newborn. But this bumblebee thing, I was like, I want the baby to be able to wear it for a lot longer, so I got it in a bigger size. So yeah, my ultrasound for the anatomy scan is in like the end of May. So we're gonna try and find out the gender. I was open to being surprised this time because I was like, well, we found out last time, maybe the second time, like, I'll be a little more relaxed about it and I can wait. But my Jasper was like, no, like we need to find out. And it will be nice to find out just because we have so much boy stuff in storage that if it's a girl, I can go and just purge all of it. And if it's a boy, then I'm gonna go through it all and like organize it and, you know, just be able to put all of it to use again. So that's really nice. So this update's more to it just merging into the beginning of my second trimester, just in the last week basically. Unfortunately, I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes again. So my previous pregnancy, I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes, and it was around the routine time, around 26 weeks when they do the test, and I had diabetes. Diabetes runs in my family, the weight's an issue, genetics, all that stuff, so I wasn't too terribly surprised. I was able to control my diabetes really well with diet. I never had to take insulin until I went into labor, and then both my 3-month follow-up and 1-year follow-up were negative. I didn't develop type 2, so that was really great. But this pregnancy, they decided to test me like from my very first blood test, but I didn't go do that until I was about like, I don't even know, like 11 or 12 weeks, and then my like OB appointment was until like a couple weeks after that. The way it lined up, I only found out last week, and it was really frustrating because my test results were really good. Like if you've taken this before, you ladies know, like you take this drink of glucose, they test your blood before, 1 hour later, and then 2 hours later. So 1 hour later and 2 hours later, I metabolized the glucose totally normal. My levels were completely normal. But when I walked into the office and they took my blood before I took the glucose, I was high. So I was really frustrated about that. I couldn't understand like why my body could metabolize the glucose just sitting there in a lab, but fasting overnight at home, I couldn't. And she explained to me that especially with a second pregnancy and my age being higher, my weight being a little bit more, the predecessor of having it in the last pregnancy, like all these factors have made the hormones in the placenta and all this mumbo jumbo stronger. So basically sometimes it's like got literally nothing to do with me. Like it's not about what I've eaten that day or how long I fasted for or anything like that. It's like literally I can't stop it, and the hormones just make my levels go up too high. And that's a little bit scary because I'm a little bit worried that maybe this time I might not be able to control it with diet then. But we'll just see. I'm gonna stay positive. In 2 days, I have a 2-hour appointment in the hospital to do like the whole diabetes clinic thing where you spend like an hour with a nurse and an hour with a dietitian. And honestly, I'm not really looking forward to it just because I've already done it before, so I feel like it's gonna kind of be a little bit boring. But it'll be good to go in, get the refresher, start testing my sugar levels, and just really monitor. And this way, the specialist told me that, you know, most likely because we're catching it so early, I'll be able to keep it hopefully under wraps. If we had waited and didn't test till I was 26 weeks, I mean, it might have been completely out of control by that point, considering I would have been having it the last 10 weeks or so. The baby could have been huge, right? That's one of the big things with diabetes babies, is they just end up being huge. Odin was almost 10 pounds when he was born, had a C-section. I tried 25 hours of labor, had to have an emergency C-section. So I am trying for a VBAC. I'm open-minded to a VBAC delivery. I just know that so far it's kind of going, the factors are going against me, that it is looking like maybe it might end up being a C-section, just because I know now that I have gestational diabetes, like that's a huge factor that affects whether or not I'll be able to deliver vaginally or not, because if the baby's 10 pounds again, it just might not happen, right? So I'm just gonna stay positive and keep saying that that's what I'm aiming for, a VBAC, and I'll just, you know, I'm not gonna be completely disappointed if I have to have a C-section, because I'll have seen it coming, right? But basically, I'm gonna try and film like either weekly or bi-weekly updates, and just like do the whole pregnancy vlogging thing, because I was so sad I didn't get to do that with Odin. I just wasn't on YouTube at that point, so I'm really excited. I'm gonna show you guys like a little baby bump. There's not much, but it's enough. I have to wear maternity clothes now because my other clothes are just not comfortable. So there's my little bean, just a little round. Not much. You guys can tell it's like not too much. Woo! So yeah, let me know if I missed anything below. I'll load up the questions because I'm a little bit scattered. I've already got prego brain, so it's like prego brain and mommy brain mixed together. It's kind of intense, but anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm excited to make more videos, and I don't have to keep it a secret anymore, and all that fun stuff. So I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Oh wow, those are so